For this week's unboxing, I will be having a look at the Tamiya 4GT. This is a kit that came out a couple of years ago, and when it came out I was super excited to start building it, but somehow never really got to it. I have various accessories from different companies sent over for me to build this kit and improve it a lot, and also customize it a little bit, and I will be going over those further on in the video and generally just showing them quickly. I will be leaving links to all of those companies down below in the description if you are interested in purchasing it, and also for the kit itself. So let's have a quick look at the box itself, which did get a little bit damaged during shipping, but overall the contents of the kit should be fine, so don't worry about that too much, and then get into a bit more detail on the specific parts of the kit itself. So as with all of Tamiya kits, the quality is super high, and usually the price is as well. Let's start with that. This kit is not cheap, but in my opinion it is definitely worth it. All of the parts are super clean and have really crisp and fine detail in them, and I couldn't really find any imperfections whatsoever. It is a bit of a complicated kit, specifically when we're looking at the exterior of the body, but then on the interior it is made a lot easier by doing it in a lot of separate parts. So for instance, the dashboard is a lower piece, the top piece, and then the main top piece as well, just so you can paint it in various different colors. So this lower piece can be painted black, and then this one, for instance, can be painted orange, and this one probably needs to be done in carbon fiber, or this one, or a combination of both. So that just makes it a lot easier. You don't have to mask it off and paint it separately. You simply just need to paint this part in a different color and stick it on. Same goes for some of the chassis components in the aerodynamic parts. These are, I believe, for underneath the doors, and same goes for here for the front or rear fenders. These can be painted or just do them black, gray, even carbon fiber if you want to, of course, and having them in a separate part makes it a lot easier and cleaner to do so. Same goes for the rear diffuser bit with a couple of mesh pieces in here as well, and the front one too. The headlights are also made up out of multiple components. This is the main bucket. Some clear parts will go in there, and probably some chrome pieces as well. Well, not fully chrome, but at least some sort of silver plated pieces. On a lot of kits, some of these fins for the rear aerodynamics are very thick, and on this Tamiya one they are super nice and thin, so that is a cool addition to do as well. Now, of course, these are not to scale. They would need to be half the thickness of these, but for now this looks already really good and is a good starting point. A cool thing about this kit is that it comes with an engine, well, at least part of the engine. The top half that will be seen through the rear window, that is nicely done, fully detailed as you can see, and then that lower half is non-existent. But then again, that doesn't really matter, as all of the body components and radiators, fans, all stuff like that will completely cover that up and will never be seen again. So they just spent their time detailing these parts out, making them look as best as possible, as these are the ones that are actually visible, and not making the kit more expensive by doing a lot of engine components that will never be seen. For the suspension, there are a lot of different parts and pieces all around as well. Super clean, very nicely detailed, and the same goes for some of the final interior bits like the steering wheel. It has all of the buttons on there, nicely done, super deep casting as well, so it makes it a lot easier to paint them separately. Even the shifter pedals themselves have some fine detail in there like the real ones, which is super cool that they captured. And another fine detail that they went over as well are the insides of the exhaust tip with those vents and pieces in there too. The disc brakes themselves are an absolute joy to look at. The front, of course, a little bit bigger than the rear, but the rear ones also have the handbrake on there as well. Now you can see that the drill pattern is a bit different, and that is nicely replicated from the 1:1 scale too. So as far as ease of painting goes that I discussed a little bit earlier on the dashboard pieces, there are some more on this sprue. Of course, a lot of the exterior components, the main interior tub, the door panels, but also parts of the seat. On the Ford GT, you have the option to have these in a different color than the rest of the interior, same like some pieces for the dashboard and the door panels, and in the kit they decided to make that a separate piece too, which makes it again a lot easier to paint it in any color you'd like. You don't have to do any complicated masking, simply just paint it and glue it in. And as far as details go, it has a crisp panel line around here as well. Same goes in the door with some of the vents. These are done super good too. And of course the other panels for on the dashboard and door panels have been taken care of really well. Now, one of the final pieces, these are for the mirrors. These are supposed to be painted in body color, and the main foot itself or arm needs to be done in carbon fiber or black. So again, that is a separate part. On the main interior tub, the center console is molded in. That is a bit of a downside, but then again, this main tub is done in carbon fiber, I believe, fully, so this part will need to be done in carbon fiber as well, but it would have made it a lot easier to have seen that in a separate part, like they have done so well on the rest of the kit. So for the exterior, already we have the rear bumper, some of the side fenders, and part of the roof, and also the front bumper and a couple of the other pieces as well, along with the wing. Now this makes it a lot more complicated, as there are very many parts that are separate from the body itself. Of course, they have to be due to the complicated aerodynamics, and it being pretty much impossible to cast it that way and make the mold so it can be made out of one piece. So I do understand it, but it does make it a lot harder to build this kit, and also, of course, with all these separate parts, they need to be color matched perfectly. So when talking about the body itself, there isn't really all that much to speak of, just the main centerpiece. The rear wings, of course, the rear spoiler, the front bumper, rear bumper are all separate, and I've shown you on the earlier sprues, but just to show you, this piece here, of course, needs to be molded in as well and painted in the same color, and then the rear fender piece goes on top of it with part of the roof, and you can see through here as it is part of the aerodynamics. So that way it had to be done like this, but still it is not the easiest kit to build. All of the parts need to be painted inside out and fully matched, as you can see the inside of that wing piece from here, and of course that needs to be finished just as well as the rest of the body. The panel lines, as usual with Tamiya, are super nice and sharp, nothing to complain about, and just move on. On the mold line side, there is one here on the fender itself. It is a bit thick and needs a bit of adjusting, but it follows the body line nicely here on top, and then on this piece it needs to be sanded nice and flush with the rest of the fender. There is one small sprue with a sort of chrome metal silverish finish, and that of course has the wheels in it, the center caps, and a tank for in the engine bay. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of these wheels specifically in this color. I don't really think they look all that good, so I would suggest to strip this coating off and paint them in black or gray, or replace the wheels like I will be doing. With both front and rear wheels having a different size and also width, the tires need to match that as well. The front one is a lot smaller and a lot narrower, the rear one a lot wider and a bit bigger. The tread pattern on here is super nicely done. It looks exactly like the Michelin ones that the real car comes with. Sadly, I don't think they were able to get the licensing for the tires, so the sidewall is completely bare. The clear parts I'm going to be leaving in the bag as I don't want to have them scratched or damaged any further than they already are. During shipping, the box got a bit damaged and the front window also got knocked out of the screw itself. It isn't damaged on itself. There's just a small piece where the tab mounts to that is a bit of a wonky piece, but that won't be seen, and the rest of it will be painted black, of course, on the outer edge, so no problem there. The rest of the parts, as usual with these Tamiya kits, super high quality, very clear parts, of course, as they are clear. And also a lot of tabs are on here with these newer Tamiya kits, so it makes it a lot easier to glue them in place and have them mounted perfectly. In order to make your life a bit easier for the windows, they have included some pre-cut masking stickers as well. You simply just put these on the inside of the clear part along that etched in line, and then the rest needs to be painted black. It is always nice to have these in here as it makes it a lot nicer and cleaner of a finish, but they are not always the exact size they need to be, so I'm curious to find out if these actually are. For some of the mirrors on the side, of course, and on the interior rear view mirror, there are some metal stickers included that have a nice mirror finish. As far as decals go, for the exterior we have some stripes in different colors and a small decal sheet as well, which I will take out of the packaging. So for the stripes you have 4 colors: white, red, gray, and black. The gray itself is more of a silver and a metallic finish. The rest is just a flat pure black, pure red, and pure white, no metallic in there whatsoever. Now none of these really float my boat, so there will be another aftermarket option for this, and I will be showing that a bit later. The main decal sheet itself isn't really all that big, just has some of the necessary parts for some of the mesh pieces. I believe these go on top of some of the clear parts so you can actually just see through them. Parts for the headlights, I believe, some interior trim pieces, a couple of badges, some of the screens, the license plates, some logos here and there, and some of the Brembo logos for on the calipers and the center caps, and some details for on the engine. As usual, nothing to speak about. Absolutely perfect decal sheet, super crisp, no problems or imperfections whatsoever. So like I said, I've had this kit in my collection for quite a while, got one pretty much when it came out a couple of years ago, and started collecting additional parts, decal sheets, and detail pieces to make it a bit more custom, a bit more detailed, and a bit more my own style. So to start off, when this kit came out, of course, shmee150 got the real one, and he pretty quickly upgraded his wheels from the stock ones to the BBS FIRs. Now they weren't available back then in scale, so I just contacted USCP and we started the designing and collaboration on these wheels, specifically designed for this kit on my request. And a couple of months later, the final design was done, the wheels were completed and sent over to me. So this is a new package with the BBS FIRs and the tires in there as well. So as usual with USCP, no problems, resin cast. It also has a lot of detail on the sidewall of the tire with the actual Michelin logos, the tire sizes, and various other bits of information. And the thread pattern has been taken care of as well on both the front and rear with the different sizes, some male and female fitting options, and the main wheel itself too. They also recently came out with a spoiler upgrade for this kit. The regular one in the kit is in the down position, but it is of course also on the real one functional, can go up and or down, and looks a lot cooler in the upright position. So USCP made a custom aftermarket one that can be set up in the upright position, just making the kit look a lot meaner. As far as decal upgrades go, I contacted Scale Motorsport and Blue Stuff. Blue Stuff created various different stripe options in different colors, and Scale Motorsport created a carbon fiber decal set for this kit to make it a full carbon fiber exterior. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to go for a full carbon fiber exterior, but I do know that I need a lot of carbon fiber decals for all of the chassis and aerodynamic pieces, which need to be done in carbon fiber. So they sent me out their set for this full carbon fiber jacket, as they call it. This is a set of clear carbon fiber decals, so only the black part is actually a decal, and the rest of the part, the blue stuff that you can see, is a bit see-through. So depending on what color you paint the part, that is the color of carbon fiber that you're going to go with. So in this case, it is a pre-cut template set on the back of these decal sheets. There are a couple in here. There are nicely marked out templates, and you need to cut them out yourself, so it is not pre-cut. It is a made-up template on the back, printed fully, making sure that all the directions of the carbon fiber go the right way, and of course also they fit perfectly to the part. So when looking at the decal sheet from the kit, it does come with a small set of stripes, and none of those colors really speak to me. Luckily, Blue Stuff did come out with 2 different sets of stripes for this kit. One with a gold, red, blue, and sort of metallic gray, a bit darker than the one in the kit, and all of them seem to have a sort of metallic fleck in them too, so that is really cool. And then the other one is actually a bit more brighter of a color set with a red, yellow, blue, and orange. And specifically the orange one is the one I was looking for, as that was kind of fitting to the style I was thinking about, matching it a little bit to the GT500 that I built a couple of years ago. So that's it for the upgrade sets on this kit. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I will be leaving links down in the description below if you're interested in purchasing any of the stuff shown in this video.